Yeah, look, I think there would be a lot of noise made if Nathan Patterson was allowed to leave Rangers, but at that sum of money, £5 million, I don't care what anybody says. Rangers wouldn't entertain it. I think he's a lot worth more than that. And I would love to see him stay, but the problem is he going to get a lot of game time? I've spoke about this, about his development as a footballer. I think he's a fantastic young talent. I think he's a future Rangers right back. The only problem he's got just now is the captain is playing in his position, who over the course of last season, his form was fantastic, and he's a future Scotland right back as well, Nathan Patterson. But I honestly believe that Rangers would not entertain a bid of £5 million.
Mark, I'll bring you in a second or two. Let's hear what the manager said about the bid as it emerged yesterday.
Not to my knowledge. Well, I'm sure the right person will tell me if that's the case and there's truth in it. You know, I hear a lot of noise, a lot of rumours, a lot of talk about a lot of our players, but the only people I listen to in this situation is Ross Wilson and the board. If any bids land and they're respectable, then we'll discuss them.
Mark, you've been a journalist for many, many years. We always start to think, what is going on here? The transfer window's got 8 days, 5 hours, 48 minutes to go. Is there something in the background on this?
Well, you'd imagine the talent that Nathan Patterson has, Paul, and the potential that's in his locker. You wouldn't be surprised if there's interest in him, but I agree, £5 million, doesn't touch the sides in terms of what he could be. But one thing, if you look at Everton and assess them, Seamus Coleman is a man at right back now. He's been brilliant for more than a decade, I think, Everton, but he's not going to be a long-term answer there. I don't think there's a real challenger in the right back role. Now, the thing for Rangers could be, as we're talking about, as much as he's such a talent, he's not guaranteed a game at Rangers. It looks pretty clear at the moment that James Tavernier is the first choice right back and he's a captain. So there's a couple of things. Has Nathan Patterson had his head turned in terms of his agents, in terms of what could be an offer down the road, in terms of wages, and also the opportunity to play first team football? So if he's got that and he thinks he's not going to get it at Rangers, it's saying about Rangers, being offered a fee that's acceptable. And I imagine you need to start the ball rolling at double the 5+.
It starts at 10, wouldn't it be?
It'd need to be a minimum of double that, and then it's up to Rangers. Look, it doesn't send out a great message if you're selling homegrown players. It doesn't. But there's so many things into the mix, Paul, for the reasons that I've mentioned. But I hope he stays. I hope he turns into the first choice Rangers right back. But certainly he ain't going anywhere at £5 million, and rightly so.
Barry, could you see him go for 10 million in this transfer window?
I wouldn't like to see him go, because as I'd mentioned, Paul, I think he's a fantastic talent. I've seen him grow over the past season or so. When he got his opportunity last season, when Tav got injured, I thought he came in and he was exceptional, and with that kind of form, Steve Clark took him at the Euros, so he's a big player, and I wouldn't like to see him go, because I do think he's a future for the next 10-15 years, future right back for Rangers. But again, the only problem he's got is the captain, James Tavernier, who, let's be honest, over the past 12 to 18 months has been exceptional. Is he going to play as much as he would like? Because I think he's ready to play, Nathan Patterson. I think he's ready to come in and play. That's the only thing that maybe sway his mind, as Mark mentioned. The agents might be talking to him, but I'm sure Steven Gerrard will sit him down today and have a quiet chat with him.
Tell Alexa to launch Go Radio or listen on the Go Radio app.